everyone, what's going on? It's me, Nick Daniels, back with another video. I know it's been forever since I made a video. I made a video a while back saying that I was back and I was making videos again regularly, but life got in the way. I was too busy with work and school and all that kind of stuff, and basically it kind of took a back seat, which I really wish it didn't, because I love making videos. I love sitting and editing them and working on them, but it just didn't happen. So we're back. It's been roughly a year, give or take, since my last video, but we're back. And just recently, I was lucky enough that with all of the work I've been doing and just working for, 80 hours a week, every single week for the last couple months, I was just recently able to purchase one of my dream cars. And while, according to a lot of, other YouTube videos and stuff like that, this car really isn't it's not one of those high-end exotics, Lamborghini Huracans, Ferrari, 48s, nothing like that. But for me, it's one of those attainable dream cars that, it's attainable, or at least attainable in the short term. Those Ferraris, those Lamborghinis, all that kind of stuff, that's all something that you can work towards in the future. It's not necessarily something that you're going to have at 19 years old. And I mean, being 19 and being able to buy this car and, work my butt off and, of course, not have a cosigner on it or anything like that, and be able to, build my credit score up to that point where, this is something that I could do on my own without needing my parents to come and help me and stuff like that. This is just, I'm so excited. I bought it. It had 36 miles on the clock, and I love it to death. It is everything that I wanted. I've wanted this car since, I would say, probably since I just saw it came out. Well, you know what? Without further ado, here it is. We're gonna flip it around right here and get right into it. So guys, this is it. This is my 2020 Ford Mustang GT California Special. And let me just tell you, this car, it is everything that I could possibly want in an attainable dream car that I could possibly come across, at least right now. In the future, there will be more amazing cars, but I absolutely love this car. It has every option that I could have possibly wanted on it, besides, the digital dashboard, and I think it was like the 401A package or something along those lines, where it had some of the more tech features. But in terms of mechanics, everything that I wanted, this car had everything on it, and I didn't want to order one. It was something that Ford had an amazing financing offer, and I just, being young, I decided it was time to go ahead and do it. I traded in, I had an EcoBoost Mustang. It was a 2019. Here's a picture of it right here. That one, I traded that in on it, as well as I traded in my F-150, just because it was just time for something else. I love my F-150, I love my EcoBoost. It was just, I wanted something else, and also I got beat by a Honda Civic in the EcoBoost, so it was time for something a little quicker. But let me just get into it with some of the details. I love this car. It's just amazing. So let's get into some of the details on it. So right here, as you can see, it is the California Special Edition, so it does come with this custom set of wheels on it, or rather factory custom wheels. It does come with a special grille. I was actually looking into buying this grille for my EcoBoost, but when I started looking into Ford and everything like that, in terms of parts, that grille was like $850 just for the upper grille. So instead of buying it, I just decided, let me just buy the car that I want instead of pretending that it's something it's not. But aside from that, I mean, you do get the cool sort of, GTCS right here for the California Special, just kind of this decal on the side. It's really not, the California Special package, it's really not something too crazy. It's really just something that, it just sets it a little bit apart from normal GTs or the Performance Pack GTs. You do get these kind of side fenders right here, or these side louvers, if you will. Those are pretty cool. I do love those. They just kind of add to a little bit more of an aggressive stance. If you kind of look at it from this three-quarter view, from this rear view, it just gives it such a better side profile with those louvers right there. But if you look on this side again, you do get this sort of this cool deck lid spoiler with the GT California Special package. And then on this rear deck lid, you do get the California Special sort of badging right there. That is just such a cool look right there. I did have a little bit of a paint chip right here that I caused because I was an idiot. But another thing with this car that you get on there, got that Paul Walker Tuna No Crust right there. But you do get the active exhaust. So this car is a fairly well optioned car. It has just about every option that you could really want on this car. We'll go over the window sticker in a minute, but it's such a cool car. And I mean, for being 19 years old and not having to have help buying it and just being able to do it all on my own, I love this car. So just before there are any kind of comments along the lines of, oh, your daddy paid for it, or your mom bought it for you, or you have a co-signer on it, I don't. Basically what it comes down to is I work about 80 hours a week. I bust my butt. I'm a full-time college student too. Basically I work for an outdoor retailer selling boats, as well as running operations for a pest control business. And then I also run a professional detailing business down here in the Tempe area. So I spend pretty much all my free time working. I don't get to play video games as much. I don't really hang out with a ton of my friends as much as I, would like to. But at the same time, it lets me buy cool toys like this. And at the same time, you always have to have those goals that you're working for, and this was one of them. So ever since the S550 Mustangs came out, this was the one that I was wanting. That is a terrible shadow. I apologize. I'm gonna turn around here. But that's just kind of when I had time to film. But basically, ever since the S550 Mustangs came out, I wanted one. And I got it with the EcoBoost, and it was great. I loved it. I drove it to California. It was so much fun. But it wasn't a GT. It wasn't the one that I wanted. I bought it as quickly as I possibly could so I could take it on vacation. But it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I got it. I didn't fall in love with it. But this car, I'm absolutely in love with. I bought it roughly about 3 weeks ago. It already has 2,000 miles on it. It had 30 miles on it when it left the dealership. Now it has 2,000. So that shows just how much in love with this car I am. I have my BMW too, so, I had the option to drive that, but I just took this every single opportunity that I could. So without further ado, let's get inside. Let's go over the window sticker so you can see some of the options that are on the car. And then we can kind of go from there, maybe go for a drive. Sweet. So again, I just love the interior of this. This car, again, it does have most options, pretty much every option you could get on the car, except for the 401A package, which would have had the digital dashboard, or I think it's like a 12.3-inch screen or something along those lines, but it doesn't have that. It was just a matter of I would have had to order it, and I didn't want to wait. So got the analog gauges, which I still love. They look amazing. You can always change the halo colors in there, so it looks really cool. Right now, we've got about 22,037 miles on the car. Again, it had 30 miles when I left it, so I've just been enjoying the crap out of this car. I've got it in sport mode right now. That's pretty much really the most fun mode to drive in. It does give you a little exhaust crackles, stuff like that. And then, of course, with the active exhaust, you can put it in track mode, which this is kind of the daily setup that I run it in. Track exhaust, sport mode, traction control is optional, we'll just put it that way. But I mean, really, it's awesome. You control it all with this toggle switches right here, which a lot of people are pretty familiar with. It's a pretty standard, setup to them. But I've got the window sticker right here, so let's bring that up and we can kind of look over some of the options on it. So total MSRP on this vehicle, it was about, I think it's up here, where is it? $48,805, which I did not pay, so we're okay there. We were able to kind of get some of the incentives, some of the stuff on there, to kind of make it a little bit, better on the wallet. But if you look right here, we had the Pirelli. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's the Pirelli 255s, 255 tires in there. The California Special package. It does have the side stripe and everything like that from the the California Special package. This one right here, the 355 limited slip axle. That one was one option that I really wanted on this car, just because I don't really plan on going for big power like a lot of the guys who get the 3.15 get on there. I just wanted a fun car that's going to be fun off the line and get a little bit more torque off of there. This one is going to be optioned with the Bang & Olufsen sound system. You can kind of see the logo right up there in the top of the dash. 10-speed automatic with manual shift. That was a $1,500 option. The Ford Safe and Smart package, which I actually didn't know off the top of my head. Kind of what that entailed. Basically what it's got here, you've got all the driver assist packages. So it's going to have pre-collision assist. It's going to have adaptive cruise control. It's going to have the lane keeping assist. I absolutely love it. I've gotten so lazy driving this car. It's awesome. I mean, it's got driver alert. It's got the rear park aid. Of course, it's got a backup camera, since pretty much every new car has that nowadays. But I mean, I forgot what it's called. The adaptive cruise control is a very handy thing, especially if you spend a lot of time on the highway. It's just an awesome thing. So I'm loving this car. The next thing that it's got on there, it's got the, the active anti-theft thing, the wheel locking kit, the active valve performance exhaust, which, if we look at it, I'm in track mode right now. I mean, just kind of get it up to about 4,000 RPM. Just get it up there. It sounds so good. It's also got the mini spare in the back, so that, if I ever get a flat tire, it's there. I mean, through American Express, my insurance, Ford even has a program for it. If I ever get a flat, I'll have some sort of roadside assistance for whatever reason if I, can't change the tire. But, of course, it comes with a warranty. It's awesome. It did have the dealership. It was Chapman Ford over in Scottsdale, right off of, I think it's Indian School Road. They had their desert protection and their security systems and all that kind of stuff, and it bumped up the MSRP, but handy things to have. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go get a little bit of gas. Even though it's not super low, I'd rather get gas while I can, but let's just enjoy the car. Sweet. Let's go. We just have that beautiful Arizona sunset up there. I know you can't really see it too well, but, really what it comes down to with this car was I wanted a fun car that I would be able to enjoy for hopefully years to come. I'm driving through the garage right now in my parking building. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to drive through the garage because it is kind of narrow. I'm going to go ahead and get outside and then we'll start filming again. Just because safety, pretty much. But we'll be out there in just a second. Back to it. There are plenty of cars that I could have gotten that are faster than this one, but at the same time, that 10-speed auto, driving it right, there are also not a whole lot of cars that are out there, I mean, at least on the street, that I'm going to encounter on my daily commute that are going to beat this thing. I mean, not that I'm street racing, I don't condone street racing, but let's just say, if you pull up to the stoplight and there's a Camaro next to you, catch my drift. Anyways, it's a fun car. I know I keep saying fun, but it's not a serious sports car until maybe it gets some forced induction, but more to come. Some Stradman right there. But more to come on the forced induction. That's kind of in the works with it. But, I mean, really what it comes down to is, at least in this, it's fun. It's rear-wheel drive. You can turn off the traction control, spin the tires a little bit. Of course, you don't want to hit a crowd with it. I really wanted the California Special, not really, to be cooler than the Mustang, Performance Pack owners. This car is going to be very similar to a Performance Pack car. It's not going to have the same tires. It's not going to have a lot of that stuff. But that 355 axle ratio, it does make up for quite a bit. So, of course, the Performance Pack is probably going to be a little bit quicker. Of course, faster than, around a track. But it's not why I bought this car. I bought it to have fun and drive, on my daily commute and blow the doors off of, V6s like me about a month ago or a couple months ago in my EcoBoost. But listen to that. That just sounds so good. That was 55 onto a street highway. Let's just, call it that for now. But it sounds so good. It's quick. It's a very quick car. But, again, I love it. I could not have bought a better car at, of course, my age and everything like that. Let me get over past this guy. I was yielding for traffic, but whatever. Nobody in Arizona knows how to use a yield sign. So, let me just put this down here because they're pulling up next to me. But nobody in Arizona knows how to drive. We'll put it that way. But we're almost to the gas station now. We're gonna get some gas just so we can kind of continue on with the night. I know this isn't, sort of a normal video of what, something that I've normally done. I know a lot of my other videos have had a lot of cuts, stuff like that. This is gonna have a lot of, single long takes. There's not really a whole lot, going into it in terms of artistic style. But it's one of those things where I'm just so excited to have this car, even 2,000 miles into it. It's just such a fun car to drive and such a, an amazing car. It's, back when I was, 16, I thought I wasn't going to have one of these cars until I was, 24, 25 years old, at $50,000, but at around that $50,000 price point. So, I mean, are there, you know, cooler cars out there? Are there faster cars? Of course there are faster cars. But at the same time, a lot of those cars would not put the smile on my face the way that this car does. I know that the camera quality is terrible right now, but now that I'm back in my garage, let me get a little rev real quick. Just sounds so good. It just sounds so good. Let me get one more before. Perfect. Alrighty, let me turn off the car, go inside, we'll have a little chat, and then we'll be good to go. Sweet. Back at the apartment right now, and all I can say is that I love that car to death. I'm so happy I was in a position where I was able to do it, especially during this crazy COVID pandemic right now. It's something that I'm so blessed to be able to do. So I am so happy to start making content again, and I'm really gonna shoot to make about 1 video a week is kind of what I really want to try and do. Right now I'm getting about 3 days off a month between, you know, all the stuff that I'm doing. So I'm gonna shoot for it, I'm gonna try for it, and, you know, hopefully we can at least get a pretty close result to that. But, you know, at the moment, I'm so excited. I love driving that thing every single day to and from work. I mean, my insurance is through the roof now because I'm, you know, a young driver with a V8, but that is what it is. So I cannot wait to be driving that car and at least do some sort of a build for it as well. I know I've got a couple of parts on the way for it just to, you know, make it a little bit more mine, if you will. Rather than just a, you know, run-of-the-mill Mustang GT, pretty much, even though it is a little bit cooler with that California Special. But I'm so excited. I can't wait to go out there. I can't wait to go on vacation with it. It's going to be an awesome car. So I really hope you guys will stick around for the ride. You know, please consider subscribing, liking the video, you know, going and checking out some of the other videos. I mean, I know I'm probably about 30 pounds heavier than some of the last videos, but that's just, you know, college. Anyways, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.